This episode of Locally to You is actually sponsored by the Academy Dover or Fightin Fit Boxing Club. And you can find the information out about fightingfitdover.org. And just into this podcast about Wayne Morley and his experience within the community and also abroad. Enjoy. With about sort of a fist sort of from your face.
Yeah.
But if you do sort of lean back, you know, try and
with me.
Yeah, try and well, you've seen the other podcasts where they're like
I
that.
watch them all the time as well.
Yeah.
That's all I watch.
Yeah.
I don't even watch TV.
Yeah. So I mean, I like watching Joe Rogan for the guests. I know people always say controversial. I don't like Joe Rogan, no, and I always say, well, don't watch it for Joe. Watch it for the guests because he has some really interesting guests on. Do you know
I watch it for the controversial side of things. It's my views are a little bit different.
Yeah.
And other people. Well, I think it's the most common views that there is now. You know what I mean? I'm not into my mainstream media. I'm into other areas.
But I think if you stay your line and only watch the things that you're interested in, you will only see the narratives you want to see.
100%.
But if you like, say, I don't follow a specific religion, but I'll look at this bits and pieces from other religions.
You've got to have an understanding.
Me a bit.
That's why I don't believe in mainstream media, because it's very one-sided. You watch everything and then make your own decision.
Yeah, exactly.
From then on.
Well, I think that's a good start anyway to what he was doing. So, hello, Wayne, obviously. This is our first podcast, and I'm Ash, and Alfie's in the background. It's quite exciting to have you come down and be the first one to come and speak, to be honest with you, Wayne. As I've mentioned to you, I've been following you for a couple of years on social media, and where people follow influencers online, you know, with big, you know, thousands. I've always liked to add random people, you know, locally or whatever, or people that aren't sort of massive influencers, you know, with like 200,000 followers, because I always find that people are inspiring in their own way, you know, locally. So the idea of this podcast is it's called Locally to You. So if you don't mind, for a couple of minutes, I'd like to tell you why we're doing it for anybody who's watching it, because it's the first one.
I don't really know myself. I've just turned up.
Well, this is it. I think the less information can sometimes be better. But it's a case of there's a lot of platforms out there that sort of showcase what's going on in Dover. But I often hear, and tell me if you hear the same thing sometimes, there's nothing going on in Dover, there's nothing to do and stuff like that. And well, actually,
there is.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot if you look in the right areas.
And one of the other reasons as well is it's not contradictory, I suppose, but like you're kind of a well-known person in certain circles, but there's other people, when I mention your name, they're like, oh,
that's true, I am.
It is. But you're doing a lot in the background. So we want to start finding, as I call, local legends. Everyone's a legend in their own right, getting them down.
Don't go that far, but
yeah. But it's not just about your business, but also sort of any, you know, life stuff and things.
Yeah,
like that.
definitely.
So, I mean, first of all, I think it'd be great to say that you've, amongst other things, your current business, Muay Thai and boxing, and you were a pro boxer.
Yeah, the Academy Dover is my current business, but it's not a business that I earn money out of. It's a community interest company. It's a CIC run by volunteers. It did start off as a business years ago, but we've turned it into a community interest company, and it targets children from 5 years old up to adults. We have mental health support groups up there. We've got Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu. Oh, we did have Jiu-Jitsu, sorry, that's gone now. And we do boxing, amateur boxing and white collar charity boxing as well.
Okay. I mean, I know we've only got an hour, but there's so many things that we can split down into what you're doing. Mm-hmm. What you just said there, which I think a lot of people don't know about, because I work for the council, I had a bit of insight into this. Like, if you do what you're doing, you set up a CIC, community interest company, for those who don't know what that means.
Yeah.
It allows you to do something which you're passionate about in the community, but also apply for funding.
Yeah, we've just started to get help with Dover District Council and Kent County Council with some of the projects we've got going on.
Yeah.
And we're looking on to, and local businesses are sponsoring us now. We are a CRC as well.
Yeah, but you've got to match fund that as well, haven't you?
Yeah, we've got to match fund it. That's why I have my charity boxing shows.
Yeah.
We do sponsored runs. We do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, well, mate, I mean, I was
like
saying,
we've only got an hour.
I know. It was a little bit of a list. But I mean, let's start with the boxing first, though. I was trolling through a bit of your Facebook page, and I didn't know that you started this originally out in Ringwold Village. But you're from one of the other villages, are you not?
I'm from Elvington originally.
I was Terrace Road for the first couple of years.
St John's Road. I grew up. I was originally born in Elvington. I was born in Dover. Lived in Elvington. My dad's in the army, so I become a pad brat every 2 years. I moved around different army camps around the world. Mum and Dad decided they needed to get me an education. So they brought me back to Dover just as my GCSE started. I didn't get on in school. I went to Archer's Court.
Yeah, me too.
Didn't get on in school. Was always in trouble. Strange, because now I work as the isolation manager at Dover Christchurch Academy.
Wow.
So that is Archer's Court. So I'm permanently in isolation now.
It's like a full circle.
Yeah. So, that's where I was originally from, and that was a little bit about my childhood.
Yes, but I've seen a title of you online which says pro boxer.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that's Google getting it wrong. I was never a pro boxer.
No?
No.
Not even in your own right locally?
No. Semi-professional, unlicensed. Yeah.
Pro's still in the name, even if it's semi-professional.
You won't money out of it. I earn money out of it, yeah.
Yeah. I did see a photograph of you in the ring, and there was a date of last year, but when was the last time you had a proper bout?
I had one in September last year.
Yeah?
Yeah, I thought I'd get the gloves out, dust them off.
Where was that?
Give it another go up at Rochester in the casino rooms. I lost only on 1 point. I boxed a lad who was pretty active. He wanted to compete against me about 5-6 years ago. He hadn't really done much then, but since then he's boxed everyone around the country.
Yeah.
Won titles, won his last 5 bouts. So I dusted off the gloves, thought I'd get back in, give him a call, ask him if he wanted to get it on. And, we did, and it was a pretty good fight. No. I think I was winning. I was winning over the first 2 rounds. He put me down in the 3rd round. I took it as a draw, and then he nicked the last round, so he beat me by a round.
Do you mind me asking how old you are?
Me, I'm 46 this year.
46.
He was 15 years younger than me as well.
Yeah. But still getting in.
I noticed the difference. Yeah.
But still getting in the ring.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it's an interesting point that I was thinking about before, again, about how people influence. I like to think I've had quite an active lifestyle. I've done quite a few things a few years back. Now I've just gone over 40, and I've got to a point where I'm like, maybe I want to stay down a little bit. Yeah. And I see you post online. It's like you're speeding up.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever slow down in that respect. I'm a firm believer of looking after yourself to the bitter end, even if it's just getting up and doing a 5K run.
Yeah. I was going to ask you a little bit about running a bit later on, but I mean, we'll go back to the boxing gym, because that's the main. Was that your main core?
That's my main passion. That's my main passion, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
But you started in Ringwold, then you moved to Dover?
Yeah, well, I started in Ringwold. I was literally just doing a bit of boxing fitness over there for a few people. Then I sort of kind of knocked it on the head. It was with my first boxing coach I'd done that with. I kind of knocked it on the head, started to think about myself, training myself. Then I started to train with the wife, well, my wife who is now. We started to do a little bit, put it on social media, put it on Facebook, then other people become interested.
Right.
Then she sort of convinced me to start training other people. And that was in the old weights room. We done it in the back room of the old weights room. I had literally four orange cones and a set of pad that I got out of a charity boxing shop, a charity shop. And then it led on from there. I decided to get my own building attached to the old sorting office. And then I asked family members for boxing bags for Christmas and birthdays, and it just built on from there, and we're in this position we are now.
So you started off with somebody else, you thought, do you know what, I can do this myself.
Yeah.
I made a go of it.
Yeah,
with next to nothing.
Literally, it was with nothing, and it was donations and Christmas presents that created a bit of a miniature gym, if you want. And then I started to use the funds that people were paying into the gym to start buying equipment, and it gradually grew from there. we then decided to move out of that building. Well, the sorting office was closing down then. As you know, it's an old people's home now. So we moved up to Tower Hamlets. By that time, I had a boxing ring. I had all of the equipment I needed. We were established as an amateur boxing club then as well. And I had my boxing promotions as well, the United Kingdom Boxing Council.
Okay.
And Kent Coast Charity Boxing, which I partnered up with my business partner, Pete Stoughton. And we put all the shows off of the Leeds Cathedral. And now I've got a bigger, newer gym. We've just opened up at Fort Burgoyne.
Yeah, so I mean, you was out the back of the Mason Jew, wasn't you? The town hall.
Yeah.
For a bit. Was it just end of contract or something?
Yeah, well, what it is complicated. No, well, it's not complicated. Far from. It's just right. Price rises. Rent went up. Building maintenance went up. Yeah. It's for no fault of anyone's. You know what I mean? It's just that it was, and we couldn't afford it. We were a community interest company. We didn't get the kind of funding that was going to cover that as well on top. So we had to move. And we now rent off of the Land Trust up at Fort Burgoyne.
Yeah.
They're a charity. We're a charity. We're a charity-orientated business. And it works.
It's a suitable spot.
Very, very suitable.
Yeah, mate. I've been up there a few times myself. And when I saw your pictures, I thought that's quite a good
beautiful scenery. I can't wait for the summer. We've literally only just moved up there a few weeks ago. Yeah. The summertime is going to be brilliant. We're going to put community events on up there. We're going to get other community-orientated clubs to get involved in the events as well.
Are you going to do any boxing events outside?
We're going to do that as well, 100%.
That parade?
Yeah,
the parade's pretty good.
Open air boxing shows.
Yeah.
I think the trusts have got a bit of an open day going on soon. Can't remember the dates off the top of my head. And we're going to do a little bit of an open air thing up there then as well to showcase myself as a new established club up.
That's a really good collaboration.
Yeah.
Really. And I mean, given that you got a bit of a military background, it's also a military side. Boxing's also in the military.
I absolutely love it. I was in the French Foreign Legion before, and to have my own fort, it's perfect.
Oh, when it's all closed, you're going to stand out there with everyone going pew pew pew. Just quickly, because it's our first one, I need to ask Alf, how's the sound levels? Are we doing all right? Are we cool? Perfect. But the thing is with the boxing, you're not just a boxing gym. You've ended up with ladies self-defense classes in there.
Yeah.
Youth groups. Do you do Muay Thai yourself?
No, I don't do Muay Thai myself. I tried it once. Yeah.
But not.
I got kicked in the leg. I was a dead leg for 3 days. No, it's not a bit of me. James Barker, he's our Muay Thai crew. He's a Muay Thai coach. He runs Dover Muay Thai within the Academy Dover, which is then side by side with us at Fightin Fit.
So people keep trying to get me, or someone, my brother and someone else tried to get me to join jiu-jitsu, and I was like, I'm 40 years old now, and I don't want busted knees and shoulders. So
yeah, we did have jiu-jitsu when we were around at Ladywell, but they moved off and opened up themselves elsewhere.
I suppose really, although I'm saying that, you come to these classes that you do, and you don't have to go full whack if you don't want to.
Oh no, of course not.
No, so I don't have to blow my knee out if I.
No, definitely.
But it's more about, even in boxing, it's chest movements, isn't it? It's thinking about. I mean, I
personally feel that boxing and combat sport is the best fitness, and you're going to get your physical and mental health. You're going to be on top form when you've had a few sessions.
I mean, I was privileged to join one of your charity boxing events once.
Yeah.
But I must admit, and I don't know if I admitted to you at the time, I didn't really make full potential of that. A bit gutted really, because I should have put a bit more effort in. I think you even had a word with me once. You said you should be coming a bit more often and doing it a bit more. So I don't know, maybe in the future I might
have another pot.
I might have another pot. Yeah, it wasn't a great time for me at the time. But that would lead me on to also what I should have maybe come along to is the lads sessions that you were putting on as well. I did briefly ask you about that a while back, but then I didn't come along to that. But I mean, not only are you doing stuff for the youth, female self-defense, you've been making champion boxers. I forget the name of the champion, Josh King.
Yeah, Josh King. He's a title holder with the UKBC and with the Amateur Boxing Alliance as well. And Dominic Billings as well. He's national champ, international champ. I'm about to take them over to France to compete for the Amateur Boxing Alliance UK national team as well.
Yeah. So there's something else I saw that you're leading up these teams, and you seem to be getting involved with. Would like to know if there's anything to do with the twinning. You know, the town twinning. Does that have any involvement with what you're doing at all?
No.
Because I think it would be great. The town council works with that and try and work on sort of somehow the ferry company subsidise this kind of French English
I've
exchange.
already messaged Boulogne and I've already messaged Calais Amateur Boxing Club,
Nice.
so we could do a bit of an inter-club show either there or here as well. I think that'd be spot on. Dover versus Calais.
Oh, if you've
So
got,
I speak French, so
yeah, I was going to ask you. Parlez un peu de français?
un peu français, bien sûr.
Oui. Yo hablo español, but I don't speak much French.
Un poco español.
But if you've got time, maybe speak to the town council about the town twinning, and there might be extra funding available for that, for bringing people over.
Yeah.
There's a chap from London who brings kids over to play cricket in the thing. With what I said about the youth, female self-defense, making champion boxers, is there anything else you want to add to that belt?
Yeah. Maybe the club we've built in Africa, in Uganda.
I was going to come to that as well with the charity boxing thing.
It's what you were a part of, the charity boxing show.
Well,
So
this is it.
and that's what it does. It funds a club we've built out in. Well, we were building two due to political reasons. The one in the south of Uganda we're not building anymore, but we continue with the one in the city in Kampala. That's with myself and my business partner Pete Stoughton. We're the ones that put the charity boxing shows on, and we're raising money for Fightin Fit Uganda. We're putting children in school over there through the funding, and we've created an amateur boxing champion, and he's just turned professional.
Right.
The actual quote is we can't change the world, but we can change the world for someone. That's the motto for King Coast Charity Boxing and Fightin Fit Uganda.
I like that. I had a manager who used to say to me, he said, "Stop trying to change the world. You can't do it." I said,
you can change the world for some people.
You can do your best to try.
Yeah.
But I mean, the question we've got to ask is why Uganda? Because it's not next door.
Well, no, it's not next door.
And Africa's a big old place.
Yeah. How it actually started, I had two Ugandan boxers walk into my boxing gym one day. They were over here having a professional fight. They're still over here now for immigrational reasons. I don't really know the ins and outs, so I wouldn't get into that. They walked in, they showed me photos and pictures of the gym that they were a part of in Uganda, and they had nothing. So we started to send our old equipment over to there. And then a lad I know called Kai, he had a thing called the Abode Project. I don't want to call it that now because it's called something else now. It's called the One Love Project. He was doing stuff with children over there, building schools. He saw what I was doing. We then put our heads together, and that's how Fightin Fit Uganda started.
So it's kind of like a right place, right time.
Yeah. With social media as well. It's just like you say, it's putting stuff on social media. It's other people have seen what you're doing. They've recognised that it's similar stuff than what they're doing. And it's put us together in that respect.
Well, whilst we've got Al, should we pull up something? Sound like a podcast. Alfie, can you pull up?
Joe Rogan.
What should we? No, I don't mind. As I told you, this format's copying.
Yeah, definitely.
But is there something Uganda-wise or academy-wise we can do both?
We've actually on YouTube
a
got a little 4-part documentary because I took a videographer over there. But if you put Fightin Fit Uganda on YouTube, there is a little 4-part series. They're only a few minutes long, each of them. That explains from Fightin Fit, fighting without the G. Fightin Fit Uganda. You got to put Uganda. Yeah.
Manchester's probably going to be just as interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Fightin Fit Uganda. There we are. Not the first one, but you've got down here. You've got a 4-part series. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4.
What should we skip to?
This is the 4th one. It's all right. Put the 4th one on. That's the one we're concentrating on now in Kampala.
No, So this was last year, was it?
A couple of years ago now. We've finished building the gym now. We're just going to...
Can we see that in part 4?
Part 4, you can see the majority of the building built, yeah.
Yeah,
You can see all the children and that over there. You can see us all over there. And a couple of that one, part 4.
Yeah.
That one
if you skip to the end of it, I don't think we'll watch.
Well, just put it halfway through. You should be able to get the gist of it then. There you go. This is them. That's Stacey Hall.
Yeah, she's a
local town.
I'm one of the...
It'd be great to get Stacey.
Yeah, Stacey, yeah. But she's just opened
some stories to tell.
A new place. Lovely lady as well.
But
she does all of our t-shirts and shorts and for the club as well. So we try to keep everything in-house and local.
That's good. I mean, that's what we're trying to do with this. Keep everything. This one is called locally to you. So if we can promote other businesses while we're talking as well, like you're doing.
Stacey Hall, end of town.
Yeah, and I've also heard about Viper Gas. I've been mentioned.
Yes, Viper Gas is one of most of the businesses we've got on our tops. Viper Gas is Aaron Blige.
I've been told to contact him.
Contact Aaron as well. He's a level 2 coach at our club as well.
Oh, right.
And his daughter comes. Yeah, Aaron started off as a charity boxer like yourself.
Yeah.
Fell in love with it, and he's now a volunteer at the club. He's got his level 1, then his level 2. He actually designed our website as well.
Nice.
Yeah, and his company sponsor and buy some of the equipment for the kids. Also on the back, you've got Chunks Rubbish Removals.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jason Lee's basically my right-hand man with the club.
Yeah, he comes and cleans up everyone that's been knocked out with a...
No, but again, his company sponsors everything. They're both up there now running the club while I'm down here. So,
but I mean, it goes to the point that if people come and volunteer, that you could potentially get some qualifications.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Definitely.
It was ticking so many boxes. With the,
helps with
what have we found, Alf? We found something for us?
No, I don't have to look stuff. Still there.
You found it?
You found it, that's it.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, so if you, sorry, did you put it on screen share and then we went off on waffling about something else? Yeah, sorry.
Well, like I say, on there, that's the 4-part series. As you can see, they're only 5 minutes to 8 minutes long.
Yeah.
So
we'll chuck a
to keep people interested rather than bore the hell out of them. Part 1 explains all the charity boxing. It's in the old club. It shows all the charity boxers training. It explains the whole process. Part 2 is the volunteers and some of the volunteers. Part 3 is all about, it says the Abode Project store. It's not called that now, so it's called the One Love Project. There's a lot of ins and outs to do with that. I mean, that's not my place to speak about that. But yeah, so it's still up and running, and it's still very much like it is in the video. And then we've got part 4, which is us in Kampala.
Let's go towards the end, Alf, and see what progress you got to.
This is all the children out there. And the other guy, the main guy you're seeing, he's Edwin. He's a firefighter and a boxing coach. Yeah, me and him get along because I'm a firefighter where is as well as I'm an on-call firefighter.
I'll tell you what, though, this is well done. This looks like a...
Yeah, it's one of our volunteers. One of our volunteers that come with us. Yeah,
you look well happy, mate. I must say.
Yeah. Not like this. I've got a lot of takes on me.
That was good job.
I was stuttering like you probably hear it in the video now.
But the pressure of fulfilling all of this and what you're doing, though, do you feel it? Do you ever how do you relax in the night time?
I reckon it's the ADHD kicking in somewhere.
Do you actually sleep?
Yeah, I do sleep. I sleep quite well, but as soon as I sit down at night time, that's me.
How do you...
The missus always tells me if I'm falling asleep on the sofa.
Power naps are probably, I think some of the most powerful politicians probably only sleep 4 or 5 hours, but I lost my train of thought for a second. And that didn't...
Lost it. Someone walked past.
Well, it was more about, how do you keep going with all... that's what I was going to ask you. So when you come up with sort of an idea or something like that, you don't just write it down and think, I'll come back to that, or do you just go, this needs to be action now?
To an extent, you know what I mean? I've got a lot of people around me, you know what I mean? A lot of good people around me, so I don't just make decisions on myself. You know what I mean? I've got my wife, Kerry, and she grounds me a lot of the time because I come up with all sorts of tangents and ideas.
Yeah.
And she puts me in my place a few times and makes it a bit realistic. Some of the stuff wouldn't have happened without her. Some of them were her ideas as well. So
That's nice.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's a really good relationship. Kerry also had the calf at one point. Has that come back again, or?
No, that was it's brilliant. The calf was absolutely brilliant. The concept of it was all
Were you
great.
doing meal preps as well?
Yeah, we were doing meal preps. It's just with the customer base weren't real, and with the cost of living going up, food going up, people want things done for cheap. We want to do it for people for cheap, and the profit margin in between's really minimal. So you're doing stuff for less than minimum wage. Because there's a lot of art and fancy stuff going into the work that Kerry does. You know, it's very time consuming for such little comeback.
Yeah, it does seem like food as a business seems like a lot of effort.
Yeah,
but with the boxing gym, you just to give yourself a bit more information out there, you're basically it's paid up membership monthly.
Yeah, there's monthly memberships. We also are part of the Dover District Council cost of living. So if we do have members, youth members, we try to target that can't afford it.
Right.
We put them under the cost of living. We take it off the funding that the council have give us.
Oh, that's pretty handy.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you looked at or had any involvement? You know, in the evening, there's quite a lot of youth hanging about on the streets.
Mm-hmm.
We should go around in a minibus and just round them up, chuck them in, and send them up to your gym.
Just got a minibus, so yeah.
But I do see when I was a lot younger, before the phones and everything was all about. All of us youngsters I used to live up Friars Way.
Yeah.
Well, it was only sort of yay high, and then there was always this one lad. We called him Teapot. Don't remember his real name, but he was always playing football. He used to play either in a team or whatever. I don't really remember exactly, but my point is, he used to say to us, "Come and play football with me," like as an older lad, keeping us out of trouble. And we don't have that so much anymore. And
it is needed because myself, I was very much in and out of trouble when I was younger. Do you know what I mean? I was your typical little shit, if you want. So,
is that village because of living in a village, you reckon?
No, well, I used to. I think my parents would always have said that, but no, I was probably an instigator as well. So I'm not going to start trying to point the finger and blame other people. Do you know what I mean? I was very much a bit of ownership there. Do you know what I mean? I was very much the same as the others. I took myself off to the Foreign Legion to sort that out and come back and got in trouble again. Got in trouble again, and I realised that's the whole point I went over there in the first place. But yeah, I could have done with something like that. Yeah, I could have done with someone coming and copping me by my ear and taking him up the local boxing club.
How many years did you do in the Legion?
5.
5 years. Yeah. Did you was that off your own back then? You was like, what?
I was going down the wrong path, and I was always going to go in the army because then I was a pad brat. I was always going to go in the army. That was my goal. That's probably why I didn't get on in school because I didn't really care because I was always going to go in the army. And then I got myself in trouble to the point where the army said, "You've got to wait."
And then the Foreign Legion,
the Foreign Legion, you don't have to wait. So I cleared off over there before I got myself in even more trouble. And
Did you do any tours? Because around that time there was I was reading it was in NATO in Kosovo.
Yeah, I went all over. I was mostly all over Africa. I've done 2 commando courses, become a section sniper, speak French. Yeah, I've done really well.
A sharpshooter, are you?
Yeah, I was a section sniper.
Cool. What's the longest range?
Kilometre.
No way.
Yeah.
What's that using?
7.62 FRF2.
That's a big round.
7.62 now. It's like a scout sniper.
For a kilometre? Baby.
Yeah. 100 metres to a kilometre.
Oh, I thought that was a big round. I'm not well up on my weapons. I'm just thinking
No, when you're thinking you're an elite sniper, you've got 12.7 calibre, 50 cal.
Yeah.
50 cal.
Kilometre's a long old range to shoot.
And that you can get up to a mile.
Yeah. So, do you know what I think would be really nice for us to see over here as well? I was in the Army Cadets and the Cub Scouts.
Yeah, I was as well, the cadets.
Yeah. And although I wanted to join the Army, but they weren't taking on when I did. And in a way, I'm kind of glad that I didn't, because now I see it's sort of like prophets and politician wars, sort of.
My opinion on it, I would never let my child join the army. I wouldn't want them to. Not the way the world is now. I'm not going to get into politics.
No, but what I wanted to not go down the politics route, but say is that I think we need better funding and access for the cadets, because although I don't want to join the army, because I did a few years in that, I know if I needed to, I can strip down a British Army assault rifle in the dark, in the blindfold, whilst polishing my boots to a perfect shine and doing some camouflage and concealment.
As well, with any organisation like that, the same as boxing, is about discipline, being part of a team, a little bit of structure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Being part of a little unit. Yeah. The same as with the boxing club as well. I actually do a boxing intervention at the school I work in now. So every Wednesday morning, I do boxing intervention with the kids that are going down the wrong path. I've developed a bronze, silver, gold and platinum award syllabus. Bronze and silver, you're non-contact. Platinum and gold, you're full contact. So you have to come to the boxing club after that. So then they get extra intervention outside of the school. And I offer them a 3-month membership once they get their bronze. So then they can come along to the boxing club. I now host amateur boxing clubs at the school. So in the sports hall at the weekend, and I've already had 3 of the lads that were in trouble at the school. They have competed within the school on the amateur boxing show. They have teachers there cheering them on this time, rather than telling them off. Yeah. So it's about channeling it and putting it down the right route.
That is what they all need. I mean, the boxing trend, is it, I suppose, has grown. I've seen it in the past few years. I mean, you were the first boxing gym that I saw a few years back, and then all of a sudden, a few more started springing up. And there must be enough people out there with the desire to do it, to support all of these gyms. Is there even enough, do you think?
I think that the more gyms that have opened up in Dover, they all originate from the same place. But the more gyms that have opened up in Dover, the more interest there's been, and we're all getting more people through the door. So that's not a bad thing.
No, I find
not a bad thing. And none of us are all part of different organisations within the boxing. There's boxing politics as well. We're all part of different organisations within boxing, so we don't tread on each other's toes in that respect as well, even though we are boxing gyms. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Without, obviously, bad-mouthing the boxing politics or whatever too much, is it a pain, the politics of boxing?
Depends what organisations you're a part of. But my end of it, no.
I saw you post about people arguing that the charity boxing is dangerous.
Yeah, some people do. It all depends, because there are organisations out there that they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. They haven't got correct doctors. They haven't got trained coaches. Do you know what I mean? Anybody, in theory, by law, as long as you get insurance, you can open up a boxing club and start a charity boxing. Pardon?
He was telling me it was I asked him to tell me when it was half hour and 45 minutes.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah,
so anyway, sign languages next time, Alf.
Anyone can do it, but if you're a decent boxing club and a decent boxing coach, the safety of the competitor comes first. So,
what's it lacking? A little bit of regulation or something?
Yeah, definitely.
If you sign up your gym, somebody should sort of be keeping an eye on.
Yeah, but myself, I've got my charity boxing, but then I've got my amateur boxing side of things. So we all have to be regulated and officiated through the amateur boxing.
Right.
So we all have to do courses. We all have to be insured.
Well, this is it. It already qualifies.
Yeah, we already have to be DBS checked. So where England boxing are against it, but they do a thing called one night only boxing, which is very similar, but down with their badge on the top of it. So it's exactly the same.
Yeah, because I think I've seen people commenting when they've taken part in your charity boxing events, and they've said, like, one of the best things I've ever done.
It can change lives. I'm really happy that I put that status up, because some of the comments on there, I didn't know how it had affected, how deeply it had affected some people's lives. And it just reinforced what I was doing and reinforced the reasoning behind why I do things as well.
Yeah, right. I mean, I think everyone's got many different reasons for doing it. mine, and I remember you passed a comment during one of the training sessions. You said it's like a red letter day for the...
Yeah, it is.
And that, to me, that's what I like to try my hand at many different bits. And even my middle brother, who used to be a bit sort of handy with his hands when he was younger, he said, I'd never get in a ring in front of all those people. Good bloody hell, you doing it. And I said, well, yeah, but it's like an experience that...
When you got your bloke in the mid-30s and 40s that have always wanted to have a go, why shouldn't they be allowed to? Why shouldn't they be allowed to go through a regulated training process? Well, you know the way I do mine. You've been on it. Of a structured training process.
Yeah.
I won't let people carry on unless they're physically up to it. Do you know what I mean? We have medical checks. Why shouldn't they be allowed to have a pop at it?
Have you had to
some of the younger lads that come in it, I direct them away from it. I'll go, look, you're 17, you're 18. We've got the amateur boxing. Do you want to take it up? Go down that route. Okay. Do it down that route. You don't want to be putting 16-ounce gloves and boxing on charity shows for the rest of your life. If you want to take boxing serious, get down that route. And some of them have, and some of them have done really well at doing it. So
yeah. I think, imagine for safety reasons, you might have had to turn someone away.
Yeah, we've had to a few times. The medics and that we've got, if the blood pressure's too high, if they don't pass the medical checks on the day, we've had to cancel bouts. So, and we will do that because the safety comes first, and our name comes there as well, and underneath the safety first. Obviously, we don't want to be known as one of them spit and sawdust type charity organisations.
No, I mean, everything that you do and you post, it looks super professional.
Got to be clean cut, got to be professional. You've got to think, again, the safety before anything.
I saw you post a little bit as well about AI coming into the boxing world now.
Yeah.
Don't like it?
No, I don't mind it. I don't think AI should be, I don't know. It's a little bit like... the football, it's in the football now as well, isn't it?
Shouldn't make decisions, but maybe make observations.
Yeah, but then AI can be... I don't know. I don't really understand much about AI, but if I was developing AI, I could develop it to view the boxing match how I would view the boxing match. Then that's biased.
Yeah.
Where your view, my view, and another judge's view are going to be different, okay? And AI would be only one-sided view. That's how I view it in my head.
I get you. I was listening to something the other week about boxing before the days of having monitors.
Yeah.
So of course you're sat by the side of the ring and you think you've seen something, but actually it wasn't.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Well, in the amateur boxing, because I'm a judge myself, I've just done the course the other week. You're all sat around the ring. You're sat on each side of the ring. And you're there with the clicker, red corner, blue corner, red corner, blue corner, and the clickers don't lie. And you're talking about points as well. I could throw a million shots at you, but if they're not point scoring shots, they won't go on the clicker.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? And AI is gonna, I would assume, miss that. And if then it becomes a draw, you can't have a draw in amateur boxing. You then go on the form of the boxer who's started to lead the bout, who was holding the centre of the ring. That kind of thing, who had full control over the bout. So there's a lot on each of the 3 to 4 judges' opinions. They're going to differ from a one-sided AI.
Wow.
In my opinion.
So that point scoring it's a clicker.
Yeah.
Wow. I did wonder where the points who's keeping the
in the Amateur Boxing Alliance. Amateur boxing is that. In professional boxing is scored slightly different. Yeah.
Should we watch
There's 2 different sports. Professional boxing and amateur boxing are 2 totally different sports. I know they sound like the same sport, but what the judges are looking for are 2 totally different things.
Yeah. Should we watch a little clip of one of your proteges?
Who's that?
Which one? Don't know. You choose. Someone.
I don't think some of my proteges, some of the bouts we've got online, you'd be really happy about me showing, to be honest.
Oh,
that's not them at their full potential.
All right, then.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you. Jake Paul and Tyson fight.
Well,
did you feel that the run up to that, you was watching an animal, and then when they got in the ring, Tyson kind of went,
money's
It
involved.
was, isn't it?
Money's involved, that kind of thing. It's horrible because it's my idol, Mike Tyson. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like if he won't go
Little
in the
bit sold
100%,
himself out a little bit. I wouldn't.
yeah, it's going to make the money. Why not?
Why not?
Why
I
not?
mean, I'd let Jake Paul batter me around for that kind of money.
You're right. I mean, why not? Do you want to? Do you still doing lads?
Yeah, we are doing that. It's gone more on to, it's died down a little bit, and that's a good thing. You know what I mean? It's a good thing where it's died down. Not a lot of people are I don't know if it's people who are reaching out or people that need it. So, yeah, we do still have a 24-hour WhatsApp group with constant support on there. So people people have gone down that route more since COVID.
Okay.
Since COVID,
Yeah.
people like to reach out online, like to chat over WhatsApp kind of thing a lot more.
Yeah, I hear a lot more about sort of blokes, especially just sort of chatting. Because I remember years ago, I used to sometimes ring mates and just be like, "Hey, what are you up to, mate?" and have a little bit of a chat for a bit. I mean, my brother, he rings me the most. I will be on the phone for an hour,
Yeah,
and it seemed a bit, a few decades ago, that's what women did. They ring for chit chat, Family Guy even, not Family Guys. Yeah, it was Family Guy. I did a sketch on it. It was quite funny. And, but now it's more common to ring up your mates and sort of chit as it was.
The lads group is exactly that. It's what I kind of say. It's like a pub with no beer. We come down. Obviously, some people have got their issues, and we can't have anything like that down there as well. We come down and just get it all off our chest. Because a bloke is normally, I don't want to be stereotypical, a bloke is normally the head of a family, and all of the problems that are going on at home all come up to the head of the family in the end, and he doesn't have anyone above him to release and get all of his bits and bobs out. Normally you'd do that to your mate down the pub.
Yeah.
So lads is exactly that. We all come down, we're like a bunch of women sometimes, come down, have a whinge and a moan. You know what I mean? Some of the boys give some friendly advice from bits of their experience.
But this is it. It's not male or women. It's human.
Exactly that.
It was stigmatized to one gender at one point, but it's actually just human nature.
You want to get someone's advice. You want them to reinforce some of the thoughts you've been having, or direct you away from some of the thoughts you've been having. Do you know what I mean? It's normal.
Was you teetotal for a while?
Yeah. 18 months.
Still are?
But then, yeah, to an extent, I like to have a beer every now and again, but I don't go out and get pickled at the weekend, anything like that. I haven't really got the time for that, to be honest.
No. Yeah. Imagine. This is that thing about, I can't remember where I saw it, sorry, but it was about people that say, "Oh, I'm all or nothing." I used to sort of say.
Yeah, well, I used to say that, and sorry to jump in. It's the year and a half off, it just changed my view on.
Yeah.
And I can go and have one or two now. When beforehand, I used to go out one or two and that was it. Oh, I want to go down the town. I want to do this. I want to do that. And yeah, it'd be like yeah.
Well, the all or nothing, was it a film I saw it in? But what they were saying is that when you like, "Oh, I've got to go teetotal because I can't have a drink because I'm all or nothing," it actually still has a hold on your life.
Mm-hmm.
What you should be able to do is adopt discipline where you enjoy a couple of beers every now and then.
Yeah, and that's what it is now.
Which is easier maybe than being teetotal.
100%.
But harder than not going full power.
Unless, because I know some people really do have problem with alcohol.
Yeah.
Unless you are dependent on it, then it is teetotal, 100%.
Oh, mate, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think we must be coming up to 45 minutes by now, we have. But I wanted to ask you a couple more things as well, because the point of getting you down here was to say about how many things you have been doing, and add some more if you like. Are you volunteer firefighter? Volunteer? Or
yep.
Is it
on call? It's not volunteer. No firefighters volunteer. You do get paid for it.
Whilst you're on call, or you have to be called out to get paid?
You offer 50 hours a week. You're on call, you have a pager, and if the page goes off, you get called out. I was on call usually when I was at my boxing club, which was opposite the fire station.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time I ran out of my sessions to go and jump with the fire engine. I can't never get my words out now. Too big and too fast. try and get into the fire engine and go off to incidents. Strangely, you brought it up today. I've actually handed my notice in. I sent an email out today. A little bit upset about it, but where I live outside the turnout area now, because I live outside of Dover now, I'd have to stay at my parents' house on the times that I was on call. And that, again, affected family life and my other job roles. So,
why did you decide to be a volunteer firefighter?
2 reasons: to give a little bit back to the community, and after my time in the Legion, I still needed that little bit of excitement.
Fair enough. Yeah, I was going to say, pretty excited. You know what I want to do? Yeah, go and fight fires.
Lads started because of my time as a firefighter. I got called out once to hanging suicide. I could speak about it now. I got called out to a hanging suicide up the Western Heights. I went up there.
Oh, that was only a couple of years ago, yeah?
Yeah, we had to give the boy down, put him in the bag, and I see it as one of my boxers and one of my friends.
Oh, mate.
So, yeah, that was one of about 7 of my friends that have ended up doing that to themselves. So now, you know what I mean? And so me and another, I was actually doing a 1-to-1 for someone to help them with their mental health.
Right.
And that person was the person I went back to and started Lads up with. I was doing a 1-to-1 with him when I got called out to the hanging suicide. So I went back to him, and then we put our heads together and started Lads.
It's when I moved back to the UK and started talking around, I didn't realise that how many numbers of people had gone down that route. And yeah, it was quite shocking. So well done, mate.
It has died down a lot now, and I'm hoping that it's because of things like Lads and because of other groups and that are out there, because it's normal now to go out and talk about your feelings as a bloke.
Yeah.
I think that's what's, hopefully, I can't look at statistics or anything like that, but I'm talking from experience around here. It's died down a bit, which is a good thing. And Lads isn't being called upon as much. We were sat in there in some sessions with 40 blokes in there. At one point.
That's
now,
really
it's crazy.
I attempted a couple of years back, just after COVID. I found myself in the pub almost every day, but not all day. And there was people that I kept seeing in the pub all day. And I used to say to them, look, let's make this little group on Facebook and go out and explore like the tunnels and Dover. Managed to get a couple of people a couple of times, but I mean, you can't make people do stuff.
No.
So I tried to have a go myself, but wasn't.
That's kind of the road it's gone down a little bit with Lads now. Some people find a little bit more solace in an individual rather than the group as a whole, and they don't want to split it. So they come along to the group, they connect with 2 or 3 people, they'll message on social or on our WhatsApp group, and then they'll be sort of out for a walk.
Yeah,
and go out with each other. So that's brilliant. You know what I mean? They sort of look after themselves, look after each other, which is good. They've got someone to go to, which is true.
Yeah. Well, what we're trying to create on another bit, what we're doing now is somehow to bring a social element as to what's going on and people joining up and going doing stuff together.
Yeah, definitely
as well, which would be really, really good. You are also a school teacher. Are you a school teacher or are you working?
I work in a school. I was at Portal House School over in St Margaret's as a TA for about 4 years. And then I got asked to join the teaching of the pastoral team at Dover Christchurch Academy. And now I'm working up there as the internal exclusion and isolation manager. And obviously I do my boxing intervention up there as well.
Did they get you in because of your credentials?
Yeah, they.
Did you also see a post and think,
no,
I can do that?
They called me.
Ah, right.
They approached me.
They headhunted you.
Yeah.
That's really, and it's a successful program. Is any other schools rolling anything like that out?
No, and there is other intervention programs, but not the boxing one, because we're part of the Turner Trust. We're part of a group of schools, and I was pretty happy. When we come back, they done like a carousel and they were talking about interventions. They used mine as a model to work off for some of the other interventions. So I was sat in the carousel pretty smug about it.
Right, yeah, I bet. So
because they've actually got the statistics up of some of the children that were actually involved and the behaviour was quite high, and the behaviour's gone. Well, I say quite high. Their behaviour is pretty intense, and now the behaviour sort of balanced out.
Do you have any involvement with the local beat officers or any of the police at all?
No, there is a PCSO that goes up to the school, but I don't really have any personal involvement with them, no.
Is there any way that it might be beneficial that the police and the boxing academy sort of communicate or something?
Yeah, I think it might scare some of the kids off. Yeah, maybe. I think we have pretty much good control over our kids once they're up there. We have a lot of rules and regulations. We have sit downs. We have talks with them. We have a set of like a code of honour that they have to abide by. Yeah.
When a few years back, I know I can't tell you the name of the boxing club it was. I think maybe they were from Maidstone.
Yeah.
They were applying and talking to the council about doing outside training boxing in Penzester, and the council were well up for them for doing it and maybe supplying funding towards it. So when the summer comes,
we do go out and do little bits and bobs like that. Any community day we go and get involved with. We go to Astor School on their Astor Bree every year. We get invited up there, and we go up there, and we usually get a few join our club, and we still. They probably won't believe me. We still promote some of the other clubs if they're not able to get up to mine. We say, look, we'd rather you go to them than none at all. So
right, Penzester events. Do you ever get involved? They've got the multicultural.
We have done. I've not been invited to any lately, but I think we probably turned down a couple with lots of the moving around that we've been doing. We didn't have the time.
Can you open now?
So. Yeah.
You are open?
Yeah.
Because normally they have to keep the gates shut, don't they? What is it?
The gates, so we open the gates, and we've got an electric code that we open them. We open the gates whilst we're in business.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah, because I think there was, myself and Stacey wanted to take a unit up there a while back, but the question was about people can't just turn up and come in.
No.
And so it was a bit like, well, that doesn't really work kind of thing.
The hours that we've set, they're happy with. So, yeah.
And they're getting a new land trust manager as well?
Yeah, there's a new manager, and there's a new assistant manager that's going to, like a part-time manager that's going to be out there helping out as well.
I applied for the job.
Oh, did you?
Yes. I gave the old manager a ring. I said, I'd imagine you've got quite a calibre of people and I don't quite meet the criteria, but I'm going to chuck my name in the hat. He said, yeah, do it. And the first time in ages, the land trust actually came back with feedback on the application, which is nice because sometimes you don't even get a response from people, let alone a little bit of feedback.
100%.
And it was really, really nice. And they sort of said, listen, we've got better candidates, but we encourage you to keep on applying. Now, it might have been a generic, we encourage you to keep applying.
Yeah.
But because of the community element that I had written about in it, they might have thought, well, when a position comes up like that, we might consider you for that kind of thing. It was nice.
I've not been suited for that position in particular, but similar position in the future. Yeah,
well, they needed degree and historic building and knowledge and all that kind of stuff.
Understandable.
I don't have that, but I got business knowledge and I filled some other bits of the criteria, but just not that really. Also, then the other thing was about running. You did do a lot of running. I see your positive posts online as well. It's sort of inspirational.
Ran the London Marathon in 2021. Yeah.
Yeah. You ever come along to the Art Run Club?
No.
So they've got a little Sunday run club, 10 o'clock. Yeah. See, well, again, look, people knowing about what's going on in Dover.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't know about that. So we went on Sundays.
And you must...
it'd be nice to know about that as well, because we've got a Strava group for my boxers, and they have to try and get to number one on that. So they have to complete a certain amount of runs a week.
Then on the 21 for like that.
Yeah, they have to complete a certain amount, otherwise I take them off. We've got a database called Warrior,
right?
Which puts them active as a boxer. I mark them as inactive. It's like you're not competing, you're not doing enough.
Yeah, I like that. That's quite funny.
There's a lot of clubs, they get their boxers running whilst they're up at the club. So I don't do that. I teach them boxing, purely teach them boxing.
Right.
And then you do your running in your own time.
Yeah,
Don't want to be a boxer, then don't be a boxer. Just come up for the classes.
Yeah. Go to a run club if you want. You obviously know Hellfire events, I guess, with Ryan.
Yeah, I know.
So-
Ryan's son's actually one of the boxers up at my club.
Okay. Yeah, and then what he was, I don't know if he's in limbo now with the sale of the site, but what he was doing was really great for the historic sites.
Yeah,
around
100%.
Dover. I wanted to do the same with cycling, but it's really hard to.
I just applied to the Land Trust about doing a sponsored 5K or 10K up at the fort,
Okay.
and they said they were really up for it. They just didn't want it done just yet because of the weather.
In the moat or in the ditch?
No, I don't want it in the moat. I just want to do all around the top and in the car park, just a little 5K and a 10K one. They might be up for the moat in the future. I don't know.
Yeah, last time I think I asked about something in there and they said it was a bit too dangerous.
Mhm.
I'd like to see drone racing as well up there. Around the ditch. That'd be really cool, I think.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Same as up at the Citadel.
There any safety problems there then?
No, you're all right. Come and join in. No, I'm joking. But no, I don't know if he's in limbo, but what he was doing was really, really good. And again, I don't know how many people in Dover know about what Ryan's been up to as well, you know?
Yeah, like you say, it's only going to be a target audience there, isn't it?
Do you want to shout out? Because I think we're almost at an hour now, and I feel like we've talked really quickly, and I feel like I
5
could have
minutes
broken
left.
down a couple of more subjects, you know.
I stutter a lot.
No, but I mean, we're not going to do 3 hours, but I think if we broke down some of the subjects, we could have probably just talked a lot more about this, that, and the other. But is there anything else you'd like to talk about for the boxing club that I might?
Just why you I can't even get my words out. Did I stutter a lot until the end? Just my shows that I put on at the Leeds Cliff Hall.
Yeah.
We do mega shows 3 times.
Oh, separate from the charity box.
Yeah, well, no, the charity boxing's amalgamated into the shows. We do like 3 shows in one.
Right.
So the first part is the charity boxing that raises money for Uganda.
Yeah.
And the second part of the show is our Muay Thai and K1. We can raise money for the lads, sometimes raise money for lads on that one. And the third part of the show is our semi-professional boxers. So we have title bouts, and that's boxers from in and around Kent and the United Kingdom that come and compete on that, a higher level of boxing as well. And the people that come and buy the tickets, you get all of that for the price of a ticket.
That's one evening, those 3
evening.
shows.
Yeah.
Because when the charity one's quite a long one, though.
Yeah. But we've sort of shortened down the charity one. So then we get a lot more in one evening. So you start at 2:00 in the afternoon and it finishes about 11:00 at night.
Oh,
So you
okay.
can come and go as you please on the price of the ticket.
Because the charity one was 3 rounds of 2 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think?
3 2-minute rounds.
And I'll tell you what, you think that 2 minutes is nothing. But by the time we got to that third round,
Yeah.
you start thinking, when's that
an eye
bell
opener.
ringing?
It's
When's
an eye
that bell
opener.
ringing?
Exactly.
It's quite
But
good.
that's with bigger gloves and head guard. And then you got your K1 and Muay Thai. Obviously, that's your knees, your elbows, depending on what level they're at. And we get a couple of titles of that. But you only usually have about 3 to 6 fights on that. And then you got your semi-pro stuff. We get about 9 or 10 of them. The next show we've got is the 16th of March.
Okay. Other than the outside bit, though, up there, have you got anywhere locally that you can put on up there, like the Leeds Cliff, but in this sort of area? Is there anywhere?
In this area, I've actually got a meeting with Dover Council on the 25th.
Nice.
Yeah, on the 25th, I'm going to be speaking to them about putting amateur boxing shows for the amateur boxing side of it back in the town hall like they did back in the day.
Oh, when that's all finished. Because
Yeah,
it's
so
that April they want that
Yeah,
done.
so I wouldn't mind putting an amateur boxing show just like they used to. It's a regular thing.
Yeah, because
When the Red Ensign Boxing Club used to be open years and years ago, they put amateur boxing shows in the town hall. We're a Dover Boxing Club, so
yeah, because you can sit up the top as well, can't you?
yeah.
And I forgot about that place.
Well, I don't know what it looks like inside. That's what I'm going along to have a little look at and then have a little chat with them on the
Well,
25th.
I'd imagine the mezzanine
Yeah.
is still going to be there. I can't remember. I think it is kind of with seats like that, wasn't it? I think.
And I know there's a mezzanine around the top. I
Yeah.
can't really picture
But that would
them,
be
right?
really
Yeah,
good.
of course. For an amateur boxing show, it'd be absolutely brilliant. But I do them up at the school as well, so
Yeah.
in the sports hall.
All right.
The last one I had up there, I actually had Luxembourg, France, Gibraltar and Scotland amateur boxing clubs come down as well. We on the show against the kids.
I mean, we'll put the links in when this goes out for you. I mean, if you search your name, Wayne Morley, Fightin Fit. But do you have another name as well for the Boxing Club?
The academy though.
The academy though.
The academy though, right, is actually the CIC, and within the CIC, Fightin Fit is counted as a project. So is lads. So is the Dover Muay Thai, and any other bits and bobs that were going on. So we can get different funding for different projects.
Well, mate, honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure. I hope this has been what you expected to some degree.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, you tell us now. Did you feel this was good?
I'm a lot more relaxed than I thought I'd be. I think I had my moments throughout where I got a bit tongue-tied and am I speaking correctly.
But for a podcast for Dover,
100%, spot on, mate.
We'll keep doing it then.
I reckon you should, and I reckon you should get a lot more.
Well, it'd be great, because this is the first one. When we put it out, we'll also repeat it as the time goes on, because you're the one of the first, but it'd be great to get you down again. Yeah. Even just even go over some of the things, even talk about how Uganda's going. And
definitely get a bit more in depth in some of the areas. I think we just try to cover everything in one. You'll probably go away and kick yourself if you feel like you've missed a few bits, myself as included, and we can cover that on another time, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. All right, mate. Well, we'll call it that, and we'll do it.
Nice one.
All right.
Thank you as well.
Cheers, Al.